Hey everyone, this is the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage. I am back with the Necky Walnut Cabinet. And if you recall, I have that first drawer that you see in the camera lens there. And it has got its coat of shellac, which is now cured and dried. And down below, I'm taking the Restore Finish in the walnut color. That, of course, is this is the product you guys have heard me talking about. I'll get my finger off of it there. Howard Restore a Finish. Comes in many colors. And what I'm going to do, first I'm going to take this top drawer and I'm going to take the Restore Finish and do a little blending. Remember, I did use the shellac here, but it was just one coat. And of course, shellac, you know, it makes a fairly thin coating when you apply it. But just to get any little areas that I might have missed. Now, of course, I want to take the Restore Finish down here and see what it does with that old crackled or crazed lacquer, the old lacquer that's gotten very brittle over the years. And I'm just applying it now. Okay, of course the Restore Finish is still wet. I haven't wiped it away yet. So far it seems to look good. Notice I want to pull upwards. I always want to be, I think I mentioned this in some of the other videos, always be very mindful of the edges of your furniture, whether it's a sewing machine table or whatever it is, because they typically, particularly on older pieces, they can be vulnerable to the veneer popping off. This one seems to be doing fine. And of course, if you have a rougher area or area that seems rough, you can always take steel wool. I picked up some steel wool, so I would have that instead of just having access to that little scrub pad. Now I'm going to come in behind those of you who refinish furniture, you may be used to literally taking a piece of furniture and removing the hardware, which you can certainly do. But again, my mission here is not to refinish, but to stabilize and protect. So far, I'm very pleased with this. It's possible that this product may have enough power, even though it's a weaker solvent than something like the alcohol and the shellac. It may have the power to, here's the steel wool. This is 4-0. Steel wool comes in different levels of coarseness, as some of you may know, and this is 4-0 or 0000 or 4-alt, as they sometimes hear people say. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that. That little mark, I don't know if that white mark was chalk, if it was a piece of a little layer of maybe water-based paint. It's hard to know, right? You want to be careful. If I'm too aggressive, I could damage what's underneath, but so far so good. And sometimes, especially if you have water-based paint that's gotten on something, you can sometimes get it to come off with this Restore Finish, which is kind of nice. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to wipe off the excess, and then I'm going to come over here where I didn't have any shellac, and then we'll see if it made any difference to both the health of the lacquer itself. Not quite sure how I'm going to measure that, but we'll see. I can tell you it's less rough in the area where I've put the Restore Finish, right? Now that may just be an optical illusion, but yeah. Now I'm going to pan back, and I want you guys to see. You're going to be able to see the other two drawers, and now you can really see the difference. That's pretty dramatic difference between those. And it took almost no time. Both of these procedures took very little time. At this juncture, given the condition, given what I think the Restore Finish is doing to the old crackled lacquer, I may be inclined to simply use Restore Finish, and once I have that on there, of course, wipe off the excess and go back with the feed and wax. I may not need to use the, it's kind of hard to discern any difference here. I may not need to use the shellac over the old Crazed lacquer, okay? You guys have seen me using it, although I've been putting it on areas of the wood that were pretty lean. There wasn't a lot of lacquer left, and getting some of that porous wood filled in. But in this situation, I didn't really have that, so I don't know that I needed the shellac. What I'm going to do is let this air out a bit. I've wiped it, and I'm going to go back with feed wax and see. I'm going to take, I'll take my finger along the top and see if this area, which feels nice and smooth now, does it still feel kind of rough, right? When I say rough, I mean it feels like rough, rough skin. If you've ever had chapped skin in the wintertime, that's kind of what it feels like with the old lacquer. So I wonder if maybe the Restore finish was at least on this table and on the lacquer that was used on it, because it would have been sprayed when it was on a production line. They would not have done this with brushes. They would have been spraying it. That was one of the advantages to using lacquers, is that they spray and they look gorgeous and they dry and cure pretty quickly for production settings. But there you have it, guys. That is a good example of taking Restore finish and or shellac to see if you can bring back what is essentially a very dry and brittle lacquer, again, without stripping and trying to reapply it. So if you zoom in there, you'll see the drawer just above in the camera here has the finish, and below it doesn't. Now the color doesn't look that much different, but maybe if I get on the side angle here, let you folks see this from this angle, because wood and lacquer are very funny. When you change the angle, you'll get a different picture of it, and I think it's made a pretty dramatic difference. And again, the key here was to find something that would preserve and protect these old pieces of furniture, but without creating just the massive undertaking that refinishing requires if you're going to do it properly. And I like these products because they're fast, but they seem to work really well. I'm not having to put new coatings. I definitely don't want new polyurethanes or anything like that. So there you go. Let me know what you think. Let's see. Maybe we'll take a look at it after I finished it. I'm going to go ahead and do more of the Restore finish for the whole table, and we'll see what the whole table looks like in the end. And but I just wanted you folks to see the two products, that the drawers look the same. This one is a little more slick where the shellac was, but honestly, I'm actually liking the Restore finish for this purpose. And in the next video, you will see me go back to that really rough Singer cabinet that the 201 held. And now that its shellac should be dry, I will be going back with Restore finish and see what that does. Let's see how forgiving that old table is after years of neglect. But if it's anything like these machines, they come roaring back to life, and it's very rewarding to be able not only to save something, but to have it look nice enough that you'd want to have it in your home. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned. I've got more videos coming, and a couple more in this cabinet series, and so appreciate you watching. Take